Well, hi folks. My name is Joel. I'm a tenor in the Sonoran Desert Chorale, and we've been asked to share something that we're passionate about, and so I'm happy to do that. So since I'm in the chorale, it stands to reason I am passionate about singing, and I am. But there are many music instructors in the chorale, and I think you'd rather hear from them when it comes to singing than just a little amateur like me. So I'm not going to talk about singing. So I thought about my other hobbies and interests, one of which is cooking, especially baking. But, I mean, how many videos are there on YouTube that you could get some very funny and good instruction from? You don't need to hear from me about cooking. Well, there's a sort of niche in the cooking field that I'm interested in a lot, and that is home brewing. And I would love to show you this, to show you my setup, but I don't have a batch going, and it's kind of hot right now to be having a kettle boiling in the kitchen, so I'm not going to do home brewing. Instead, what I'm going to do is show you my garden. And I have this unique method I've been doing over the last year or so, and it's straw bale gardening. So let me take you over to show you my garden, show you maybe a little bit of my harvest, and then I just want to say a couple closing words about some of the important teachers in my life. So let's go check out the garden. All right, so let's take a look and see what it is doing today. And things are a little crazy. I'm going to pop over here to the Florida pink tomato. And that's probably a 2-pounder there. I picked one last week that was, or 2 weeks ago, that was 3 pounds. Ridiculous. Then a Super San Marzano, which has been really productive, making those great canning tomatoes. Cherokee Purple, another heirloom, which has been fantastic, delicious. Porter's Pride, very productive, and Better Boy is there on the end, making beautiful, huge fruit. Okay, so now we're on the east side, and you can see my new shade cloth there is draped over the whole business, and this is a tomatillo. Made tons of tomatillo last year, and really more than I needed from 2 vines, so I'm down to just 1 this year. And just poke around here in the straw so you can see it actually is a straw bale. Now some of those dead leaves are from bush beans, so I've already had my green beans in and have harvested them, and they are done. Probably got about 4 different pickings from those. And you might have seen some nasturtium there on the side. Got those that I planted in the front. They kind of go all around. Okay, now this vine here is a long-handled dipper, and I've got it in the spot where I had put, had grown loofah last year, and it was so prolific that my other vines actually didn't get a chance, my pumpkin and my long-handled gourd. So let me see if I can find, aha, there's one. Oh, little girl, hope you can come become a full long-handled dipper. All right, you saw my cantaloupe jungle there on the left, and now, oh, this is what happens to straw bale gardens when they die. They actually become wonderful compost. That's what's going on the whole time. So I planted peanuts in last year's. So that for that straw bale, then those 2, that's actually the 3rd planting that they've been through. Okay, so backstage here we have a volunteer cherry tomato, and it has made pretty good sized fruit, and it made a lot as well. And there's a few green of the Better Boy, so probably not going to get much bigger with this heat, but they'll at least ripen. And swing around here, oh, there's a few Porter Pride, look pretty ripe. Birds are going to get them if I don't pick them. Got a ancho chili there, and then I have some cowpea as well. Cucumber just blossoming all over the place. It's a little hot, but it's still setting fruit. Got a couple this morning. All right, got a duck under the shade cloth here, and that'll do it. So one of the nice things about doing the straw bale gardening is you're actually creating soil. And here is a picture of just mushroom that has come up from the conditioning process. So to do straw bales, to create the soil from the straw bale, you condition it by introducing a little bit of organic fertilizer, nitrogen heavy, and watering the bale for about 2 weeks. It takes about 2 weeks to really get the process going. And it starts cooking in the middle, just like a compost pile, and it creates this amazing planting mix. So as part of that process, your bale will sprout mushrooms. They love it. And that's a really good sign, because those mycelial fibers are what helps plants, the roots of the plants, get their nutrients in their water. Well, this is what the straw bale garden looked like a couple months ago. And in the middle there, you can still see the leek is hanging on. And I like to put flowers there in the front, at least early on. You know, it's nice to be able to see some color. And after a while, as you're going to see here, things get a little crazy. The nasturtiums in the front, though, you know, are bloomed, and they made some happy colors. But the tomatoes, as you can see, are starting to create this jungle wall. And then just a few days ago, this is what it looks like. So I had to get my larger shade cloth on it just to cover everything as much as I could. And the cantaloupe, I mentioned that that's just going crazy. So it's just in this one bale right here. But as you can see, those are pretty happy vines. And if you zoom in there, you can see there's probably a way I can do that with this software, but I don't know how to do it. But there's a cantaloupe under there, and there's another one. There's 3 in here, and there's a couple hanging on the vine. Oh, there's a closer look at the jalapeno. Yep. Picked probably about 10 so far this season. But jalapenos do really well here, so I expect this to hang on even through the winter. And another pepper that is doing really well this year is the ancho chili pepper. So it's got a little bit of heat to it, not too much, but it's a really nice pepper for cooking and using a lot of dishes around here. And here are the leeks that I harvested. So this is probably 1/3 of a bale worth of leeks that you see in the bucket. And this is the massive tomato that I think I've already shown you one side of it. This is the backstage side of it. So these guys, I was waiting for them to grow. One turned out to be 2.5 pounds. This guy here, and then another turned out to be 3 pounds. But they turn pink on the outside. They don't really get that full red, but they're really, really ripe. So let me show you what it looks like inside. Yeah, so you get that beautiful red flesh, and it was just fantastic. Last but not least is the pumpkin, and there he is peeking out. The blossoms are peeking out. Just love to see those blossoms. Bees absolutely adore them and are great for pollinating the garden. I didn't have any success with them last year. I think my loofah just didn't seem to play well with the loofah, but I've got pumpkin, and can you believe it's June 10th when I'm harvesting this pumpkin, and it's a 4.5 pounder. But my daughter Sophia made that harness for it to hold it up and keep the vine from falling. And there it is. It's not the great pumpkin, but it's a very sincere pumpkin. And looking forward to preserving that. You'll see the vine there is got a lot of brown leaves. And yeah, the pumpkin just gives all of itself. The vine gives all of itself to producing that fruit, and that's how you can tell it's ready to pick. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little look at my straw bale garden that I've got going in the backyard. Hope it survives the heat. Starting some things for a little later planting, and can't wait to get the cool weather crops in. And I wanted to close, though, by recognizing and thanking the choral directors that I've had the privilege to sing under, and want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to be in their groups. and for instructing me and the groups in their knowledge and their passion. It starts in high school with Gene Reynolds. So much I want to say about each of these, but I know I need to keep the video brief, but I'm going to name you and thank you. So Gene, thank you so much for introducing me to choral music. Dr. Greg Colson at Georgia Tech, founder, I think, of the Georgia Tech Chorale, and introduced me to the sacred music repertoire, which has just grown and grown and grown under these other directors. Dr. Michael O'Neill Singers. Thank you, Michael, for the chance to sing in the choir and in the chamber chorus as well. I had several good years there. I'd like to thank Ted Gentry. Dr. Ted is a great organist as well as church choral leader, and so knowledgeable of the repertoire, and it gave me so many opportunities to learn more, especially of more contemporary and still living composers. Dr. Jeffrey Johnson of the Lexington Singers, one of the most memorable concerts of my short time doing this in the community there in Lexington, around 2003 or 4 it was. I want to thank Jeff Harris of Sonoran Desert Chorale, founding director, and so influential in reawakening, really, my love of choral music, and brought so many good things, good experiences, so much good instruction in his passion. And last, but certainly not least, Dr. Carrick Smolnick. And Carrick, really appreciate the opportunity to stay on with Sonoran Desert Chorale, and am thoroughly enjoying the music that we're all making together, and so much appreciate your leadership and your passion as well. Well, that's about it for me. Again, my name's Joel. Sonoran Desert Chorale. I hope you can come check us out sometime. If not live in person one day, then at least virtually. And let's keep making music together. See you later.